Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Music is My Business podcast, live Q&A. Shout out to everybody in the stream. Let me know where you guys are from. Let me know what you do, and I want to see who we have in the building. We're back after like 2 weeks off. A lot to catch up on, obviously. Fresh off of Shades of Sync conference, which was super dope. That was last weekend. Shout out to everybody who made it out to that. Man, that was an amazing experience. A lot happened during that weekend. A lot of connections were made. Hopefully a lot of music is made from those connections being made from everybody out there. A lot of dope information was shared. So yeah, we had a good time, man. So shout out to everybody. Got a chance to meet a lot of people from the community here, which was super dope to see, you know, some people in the building and meet them in person. So that was dope. But yeah, man, shout out to my Sync Producer Hub people in the member only chat. We got G5, Larry Bradshaw, we got Marcus Lyons and Steven Fleming. What's up, bro? Hope all is well. If you guys ever have questions throughout this episode, just raise your hand. I'll bring you up either on audio or video, or you can just type your question in the chat. Completely up to you. And then if you're on the YouTube side, just type your question in the chat and then we'll try and answer it. So yeah, let me see what we got in the building, man. We got Larry says, what's good, everybody? Rebro Productions in the building. Steven said, what's good? Marcus says, what's good? Steven says, who y'all got tonight? The way it's been going, I won't be surprised. It won't surprise me if Paul wins. Marcus Lyons from Tennessee in the Zoom. We got Miguel in here watching the live while having Mike Tyson and Jakes. I know, right? I'll probably low key pull it up on my iPad over here and like gaze every now and then. I've been making low energy hip hop this whole time, says Justin B. Low energy hip hop. KO, Tallahassee, Florida. Congrats on Shades of Sync. Thank you, man. Much appreciated. Yes, indeed. So let's start off with some wins. Start with some wins. It's been a couple weeks, so we should have a couple wins in the community, in the Sync Producer Hub community, right? So let's check it out. Noel, since we're near the holiday season, says, good to be back and some good news. Been gone for a while due to helping my family, but so blessed to be back. Plus, I got accepted into 3 music libraries. I'm blessed to be learning everything from Anthony Clint Jr. Thank you so much. Much appreciated, man. Glad the information has been helping. And yeah, man, welcome back to the hub, bro. That's an awesome win. 3 libraries to submit your music to. That's 3 wins. That's not even a win. That's 3 wins. So good stuff, man. What a way to come back. I love it. So congrats to Noel or Noel, however you pronounce it. Let's see. We got one from Kelwin officially on IMDb. I'm still in awe of God's blessings this year. Seeing my face on IMDb with credits from amazing placements is truly mind-blowing. Woohoo. Heartfelt thanks to Clint for working with me on the track and teaching us how to do it ourselves. The journey is just beginning. Let's go. He shared a screenshot. Let's see. He got Love is Blind on there. He got Sisters on there. Fight for Paradise. Who Can You Trust? That's what's up. I think that was that show that was in Germany or something. It was like some overseas placement. So shout out to Kelvin, man. You got the official IMDb profile popping off. I see you. I need to update my IMDb now that I think about it. So yeah, super dope. Oh man, listen. Shout out to Greg. I feel like my mic is spicy right now. Shout out to Greg Johnson reminded me, like, we low-key surpassed 100 podcast episodes, if you haven't noticed. I didn't notice when I was actually recording episode 100. I don't know, we're probably like, I don't know, by the time this releases, I'll probably be on like 108 or something like that. So listen, hit 100. We hit 100. That happened fast, it seems like. So shout out to everybody, man, who listens to this, who watches this on YouTube. Glad the information has been helping a lot of people all over the world. And yeah, it's just dope to be consistent and hit 100. That's a huge milestone, to sit in front of a mic and talk for 45 minutes to an hour every week. So shout out to everybody. G5 says congrats on 100. Thank you. Congrats to everybody with the wins. Maul Ballin says, what's up? Clint, Jamal from Brooklyn here. Honor to meet you at Shades of Sync. Likewise, man. It was an honor to meet you as well. Super dope people, man. It was just dope vibes in the building. So yeah, so those are some wins, man. Shout out to everybody winning. Yeah, let's if you have questions, drop them in the chat. I have a couple things that I want to talk about. First off, Pond 5 in this data set earnings payout. I got another one. It wasn't crazy. Like the last one was like $400. This one was like $50. But if I'm not mistaken, it happened like, what, a month ago was the last one? Before that, it was like a few months. I don't remember seeing anything for a while after that first one. So I don't know. It's seeming like a regular thing. Because originally I thought it was just a one-time sort of deal where you just, whatever. They license some stuff out for companies to use for their, their AI tracking stuff or whatever. But yeah, like I just keep seeing data set earning payouts from Pond 5. So we'll see if this continues. I still haven't uploaded anything new on there in like a long time. So I'll probably, I don't know, I'll dig around and see if I have like other non-exclusive stuff we can throw up on there, just because, and see what happens. It's been a while. Logic Pro 10 update. That has been the best news this week. And it's like small things, but it's huge to the workflow. It's things that like just should have been there a long time ago, but the fact that they're there now is exciting. So one of those updates for me that was huge, man. Especially having worked in Ableton, and even Pro Tools is I'm pretty sure you can search in Pro Tools. The ability to search for like plugins and stuff, like that is so small, but man, thank you Apple for adding that. I was using it today. I was working on some stuff. Last night and today. And you know how like you know exactly what plugin you want, but you like before you had to go to audio units and then go to like the developer and then go through and blah blah blah, like all this stuff, unless you created like your own little custom plugin list. But you would just have to go through all the menus. Now, if you know the plugin, you just type the plugin and boom, it's there, just right there. So simple. But that's been crucial to the workflow. You can also, from the mixer window, drag tracks and rearrange them wherever you want, which was huge. Again, I don't know why that wasn't able to be done before, because you can do it in the arrange window, but the mix window, it was just like, this is what you get. It's stuck here. So that was huge. Because a lot of times when I'm mixing like in the mix window, I'll like, want to move something or like rearrange it or, better organize it. So, excuse me. Yeah. So that was huge. They also added a reverb plugin, which I'm playing around with, which is supposed to be pretty cool. As well as bringing some things out. And I had this conversation before with other producers where I was just like, Logic has a lot of features, but a lot of them are like hidden within secret menus and compartments of Logic, where it's just like you don't even know it's there, but it's there. So I feel like if they continue to bring more things out like to the forefront, it just makes it that much doper. And then those same updates were released in Logic Pro for iPad, and I'm gonna tell you why Logic Pro is the best DAW, period. Logic Pro for iPad had those same updates, plus you can there's now like a dedicated space to have your samples, like your drum samples and things like that, or any samples. There's like a dedicated spot for that, to where you don't have to. Before, you would have to like you have your Logic window open, and then you have to drag your little Finder folder thing next to it, and then like drag and drop, and that was kind of iffy sometimes, depending on how you drag it. It was weird. So now it's just all within Logic. You don't even have to open up a separate folder or file manager thing. You can just do it all right there in Logic, which is fire. In addition to the same plugins you get on the regular Logic, in addition to the ability to be able to easily arrange stuff within the mixer window. So Logic is just fire right now. This weekend I was at the studio, and I was working on the iPad in Logic Pro, and I actually enjoyed it. Like I had to do the weird, this was before the update, so I had to do like the whole weird folder thing, but I made it work. But I was able to just hook my external SSD to the iPad, had all my drums on there, was able to load it into Drum Machine Designer, create my own kits, and boom, I was good. I was able to get ideas out, and then easily, once I got back home, I was able to just pull it up in Logic and pick up where I left off, which is fire. So loving Logic, man. Like literally, I just, right now, when it comes to, at least for my workflow, having a DAW that I can get work done on the go with the iPad and easily transfer that to the desktop, and from a workflow perspective, I'm loving it, man. It's killing it right now. I don't like, what other DAW has like a mobile DAW on iPad that's as capable as Logic Pro right now. I don't know one. Ableton's mobile app is different. Who else has a mobile app? I think Cubase's or something like that. I haven't used it. The best DAW that I've used on iPad was like is Beatmaker. Like that was probably, but that one, it was a little bit different than Logic. So now that Logic, it's just like, Logic is the way to go for me. Market says, I didn't see an update for Logic in the Mac store. Did it automatically update? It didn't. I had to install my update, and I also think you have to be on the latest Mac OS, if I'm not mistaken. Good question. But yeah, I think you got to be like super up to date, which I know for producers that is a very nerve-wracking thing. But yeah, Logic Pro 10 update is cool. Plugin and search is a nice feature to have. Maybe they heard the podcast and other people talk about not having that option. Yeah, I hope like they're listening. They're absolutely listening for sure. Ant Groove, what's up? Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, man. Now, like I think, with the things that I loved about Ableton is just like, their browser and search features are super dope from a workflow perspective. So I was just like, yo, if Logic can get some of this stuff, that would be awesome. And this is definitely a step in that direction. Another thing, man, if they could do is when you're listening and going through samples in Logic, which was another thing on Logic for iPad. Before the update, going through the folder, like I would have to tap or click on the sample from my SSD and then play it, and then I would have to like go back in the menu and then manually click the other one. It was super slow. Like you can't just cycle through snares like super quick. It was slow. Like I've probably spent like 10 minutes setting up my drum kit. But now the way they have it, you can just go through them like one after another. So again, that's huge. But on the desktop Logic, man, if it's like a delay when you go through samples, for whatever reason, it's a delay. In Ableton, it's like instant. You just next. I don't know why the delay is there in Logic. If they could fix that, that would be awesome as well. Just to be able to kind of quickly go through sounds quicker would be fire. So yeah, G5 says mine seemed to update automatically. I couldn't find it when I initially looked for it. It may have. I think the only reason mine didn't was I think it was like, I don't know, the time of day or something. But usually that stuff kind of auto installs if you have it set for that. But yeah, definitely a dope update for Logic. It feels more, well-rounded to me, with just those workflow features. So I'm excited, to see what they continue to do. Seems like they're definitely, how like some DAWs, it just seems like, and I felt like this with Machina and Native Instruments recently did an update for that. I was like, yo, it's been a long time since they had like a significant update. It just feels like they just forgot about it. But Logic keeps pushing the envelope, and Logic, like, I only paid for Logic one time. I take that back. In my life, I paid for Logic twice. So I paid for it a long time ago when it was like DVD. It was DVD Logic Express. I paid for it then, and then once everything went all digital, I paid for, because that was like, I think that was Logic 8 or 9 or something, and I paid for Logic 10 just straight from the App Store. But yeah, then you just get updates forever for free. Can't beat that. $199. iPad, you do gotta pay the yearly subscription thing, but to me it's worth it. Definitely has been worth it. Is there a function in Logic where you can connect to other people's sessions live, or is that Ableton? I don't think there is. Not that I know of. I bought Logic Pro 8. It came in a big box with manuals and CDs to install. Yep, I remember that. The good old days. Ray's Productions, what's up? If you guys have questions, drop them in the chat. We can answer some questions, talk about sync, music business, music production, or this fight. I don't know. Y'all let me know. We can discuss. Which I'm gonna pull up, and they got like 1 million fights before the actual fight. So I don't know if they started fighting yet. So yeah, it's been a good week. It's been a solid week. I think last time I was on here, I had finished up the album, the sports album, where I wasn't allowed to use brass or strings. So I think we got, matter of fact, once I finish streaming tonight, I gotta send over an edit. We had a couple revisions, and then I think they're giving us a thumbs up to go into the mixing phase. So we did it. I accomplished it. I did a whole sports album without using brass or strings, and the urge to use those were very high throughout this project. So yeah. Lawrence says the fact that Logic is a one-time purchase is clutch. The score editor is highly slept on. I agree 100%. Like, yeah, you really can't beat that. It would be cool if someone found out that they had a placement on a Tyson. Oh, that would be fire. 100%. Ray Garcia, what's up, Ray? Yeah, that would be super fire. Okay, so let's talk about Pro Tools, man. And this thought, this illusion of perpetual license. A few years back, I splurged on a perpetual Pro Tools license because Pro Tools has been one of those DAWs that I always want to have. Like, I always have to have it on my computer. It's a go-to for me when it comes to recording vocals, editing vocals. I like to do that in Logic. I'm sorry, not in Logic, in Pro Tools. So it's just a DAW that, like, I just always want to have. And then sessions, old sessions, tons of sessions in Pro Tools. I gotta have it. I have to have Pro Tools on the system. So I was just like, all right, let me go ahead, update, get this little perpetual license, and I'll be good. Like, I'm not gonna keep updating. I'm gonna just rock with that. As long as it's PTX, we're good. You know what? I can't even blame Pro Tools 100%. I can't blame Avid 100%. It's Apple. It's kind of Apple because Apple did an update that kind of forced me to update the Pro Tools that I bought under the whole perpetual license. So it just got to a point where you get the perpetual license, but if your software doesn't work with it, you got to do another upgrade. So then it turns into like this perpetual plus upgrade fees. And I believe I've paid quite a bit and just updating it and being able to keep one on there. So this is what I ended up doing. I feel like I wasted money on the perpetual license because the ratio of using Pro Tools and how much I use Pro Tools versus how much I use Logic it's not even comparable. I use Logic way more. So what I ended up doing was just using the Pro Tools Studio subscription thing just whenever I need to pull up a session or work in Pro Tools for the month. I'll just do that, and then, you know, when I don't need it, cancel it and just chill for a while. And I've been doing that and still ended up having, every time I open it, I end up having to update the thing. But luckily, since I'm just doing the subscription, I just pay for it for a month, do what I got to do, and then I'm out of there. So I don't know, man. Depending on what kind of system you're using, you know, the whole concept of a perpetual license is not what it used to be back in the day. Apple does so many updates. It's exhausting. It's just like, yo, can y'all like sit still for a little? It's like, it just reminds me of my toddler. Like, dude just never stops moving. And I feel like Apple's the same way. Apple's a toddler in the tech space, and they just constantly have to update something. So that's my gripe with Apple and Avid, man. I just, you know, unless I just build like a PC and just, you know, keep just a version of Pro Tools that can't be tainted, you know, I've just been using the subscription. So it's what it is, man. Ray Garcia says Studio is $199 Black Friday. That's what's up. That's Studio One. Or Justin says FL Studio perpetual license is dope though. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm all for it as long as it means perpetual. So again, I guess it depends on what system you're using. If you're using a Mac, and you know, I try not to update a lot on Apple, but then there's like some things just will stop working until you update, or things are just, you start running into little issues and you're like, I think I gotta upgrade. So yeah. G5 says, any issues with any plugins or Logic Pro yet since the update to Sequoia? Not anything that I haven't been dealing with prior to Sequoia. Like, I've been dealing with Contact just not loading up instruments that were on there. That was pre-Sequoia though. But since I upgraded to Sequoia, I haven't really I haven't had any plug-in issues that I've ran into yet, at least with the ones that I use. Justin P says, bought FL8, been rocking lifetime updates ever since. Yeah, that's what's up. I love lifetime updates. Perpetual, forever. Y'all know this from just sync agreements. Perpetual license deals forever. You're not getting out of it. You're locked in. Ball and chain. Gabba Music Word says, can you elaborate on MLC and Harry Fox as regards to keeping your music in the sync world versus if you intend on releasing it? I am not an expert at MLC or Harry Fox for real. I know it deals with mechanical stuff. Harry Fox specifically, mechanical royalties like from album sales and things like that. But look up what's her name? Oh man, I can't. Jeez, I can't remember her name. But we did a podcast, maybe a couple years ago, and her company does like pub admin and stuff like that. She can break all that stuff down. I just can't remember her or the company's name right now, which is insane. It'll come to me. And then, yeah. But Song Trust. I think Song Trust has some articles on that stuff as well. That's super insightful. Or their YouTube channel. So I restarted my Mac, went to the App Store, and the update was there. Boom. Let's go. All right, let me see. Let me scroll back up here. What advice for getting rid of my 9-to-5 job for me to work my brown but a full-time music producer? I'm so tired. Any help? For me to work my brown, I don't understand that part, but it sounds like you're trying to ditch the 9-to-5 and do music full time. I'd say, if your music business is making the same or more than your day job, then you could possibly be in a position, and is doing that consistently, then I feel like, that's a comfortable place to make a leap, depending on how much risk you're willing to take or are able to take. That may vary, you know what I mean? Some people can make it work with less. Some people not so much. But if you can consistently bring in income that matches what you're doing a 9-to-5, or that's close to that, because think about it, like if you get your time back after quitting the 9-to-5, you'll probably be able to output more and earn more working for yourself. So, if you're able to do that on a consistent basis, for me, it was like, I wanted to see 3 years. Like if I can do that 3 years in a row, then it's not just like, oh, we had a good year and then nothing. But if you can do that 3 years in a row, you're doing something right. And if you can do that part-time, then full-time, you can just really run it up. So I would gauge that and then save up emergency, and it's like 6 months of bills and stuff to cover you if you have slow months while you're working full time. That'll give you a little bit of cushion If it doesn't work out, you know, you got a little bit of time to figure something out before you just, you know, crash and burn. But that would be my advice. Save up, get comfortable, get a nice little emergency fund, pay off any debt that you just don't have to worry about, and then, you know, make a decision from there. LV Drizzle says BandLab is dope. A lot of people sleeping on it. BandLab is dope. Like I have some videos I need to make about BandLab. BandLab is, I'm not mad at BandLab. I used it on the iPad as well. I was like at the dealership just like playing around with it, and it has plugins and stuff and sounds and loops, samples, and all types of stuff in there. So you can get some work done in BandLab. I'm not gonna hate on BandLab, especially if you're like if I was just starting out. It would probably, since I use Mac, it would probably be GarageBand if I was just starting out, honestly. But then BandLab will be, you know, a strong runner-up in terms of DAWs that I would use. So yeah, shout out to BandLab. But yeah, definitely understand, man, that 9 to 5 being tiresome for sure. Do I need to hire a lawyer for my music business production? Well, it depends. Depends on, I mean, I always recommend like having a lawyer or knowing a lawyer for some things. Like if you're dealing with contracts and agreements at some point, you're probably going to, you know, consult a lawyer. If you're dealing with properly setting up your business, you'll probably end up talking to a lawyer at some point. If you're trying to protect the intellectual property of your business, you'll probably end up talking to some type of lawyer. So yeah. Do you need to hire one to start the business? Not necessarily. I mean, I didn't have one, but you know, it just depends on what, you know, what you understand, what you don't understand, and, you know, things that you may want to potentially avoid. G5 says, what legal pitfalls should music producers be aware of in the sync licensing industry? Man, I mean, I think a huge one is just not reading the agreement or not understanding the agreement, signing the agreement, and then trying to like save money by not hiring a lawyer. Just going back to the lawyer thing, like sometimes you just gotta spend the money and just get a lawyer and stop trying to do everything through LegalZoom and Google and ChatGPT. Like, even though I use ChatGPT for some stuff, but you know, like if you don't understand it, man, you got to get somebody who can interpret that for you and just give you in layman's terms what this is saying. What rights are you giving up? What are you agreeing to, so that you at least know, and then you can make an educated decision. I don't feel sorry for anybody in sync or in the music business who say, oh, I signed a bad deal, blah, blah, blah. Like, you signed it. Nobody made you write and sign your name. You signed it. You just didn't read it because it was there the whole time. Like, nobody was trying to trick you or hide you. It wasn't invisible ink on page 7. Like, you sat there and was super excited, especially if you got an advance or something, and you just signed it. So it's like, if you don't get the interpretation or legal advice, things like that can happen. So that's a pitfall, like not reading the agreement, not understanding what you're doing. I think that's the biggest one, honestly, because if you understand it, then boom, you're good. And then knowing, like, because now a lot of publishers, if you're a producer who's like used to using samples and stuff, a lot of publishers they're like putting in their agreement, sign here to say you own 100% of this music and it's 100% original. So that means you can't have like a royalty free loop in there, even if it's royalty free, even if the company you got that loop from says, hey, you can use this in TV. They want it to be 100% original. So making sure like you understand that and you read that, I think those are two big things and pitfalls you can avoid just by paying attention. So yeah, entertainment lawyer. I would say specifically for like, agreements and stuff like that within our space. If you're dealing with like trademarks and stuff with your, company name and stuff like that, then some lawyers do multiple things. Some will be like entertainment /IP/ whatever. Some specialize in business. So, there may be some things on the business side, some documents, some, different types of letters and things like that. Confidentiality agreements and all that stuff that may come into play. But yeah, just depends on what you're trying to do specifically. So yeah. G5 says, I think excitement is what can get you when signing some sync contracts. The idea that a company thinks that your music has worth, it can be tricky sometimes. Oh yeah, I agree 100%. I agree. Cause some people are just like, yo, I just want to hear my music on TV, and that's cool. But like, the thing I like about sync is, for the most part, most sync agreements with, production music companies and libraries and supervisors, they're pretty fair and standard. They don't get super tricky. So I like that. People they're trying to do fair business for the most part. You'll have those outliers here and there, but I think a lot of them try and do good business for the most part. But trust and verify is what I like to say. Definitely want to verify. If you don't understand it, seek some legal help. So yeah, for the new people in the stream, man, let me know where you guys are from. Let me know what you do. We got a few more minutes. I'll answer some more questions. Yeah, a couple wins on my end personally. Apparently, Love is Blind has like 1 million franchises around the world. And I honestly, I had no idea. So I got a recent placement on Love is Blind Mexico. So I seen that on a cue sheet this week. So far, I've had music on Love is Blind here in the States. I've had music on Love is Blind Brazil. I think that was like the first Love is Blind I was on, is Brazil. Then I had some on Love is Blind Sweden. And now we're adding Mexico to the list. So now I'm like, yo, what other Love is Blinds are out there? I feel like they're everywhere now, which is crazy. So yeah, so that'll be interesting because yeah, I'm curious to see how that looks coming in with it airing internationally first and then making its way back to me in the States. I wonder if there'll be, any difference. So yeah. Also, Found out about the Wayne Brady The Family Remix show. Got a placement on there. So that was pretty cool. And then some other shows I've never heard of. The Ultimatum South Africa. I've been like, apparently my music has just been on an international kick for some reason. The Ultimatum in South Africa. Just everything except the States this quarter. It's just been like interesting. So that's cool. Again, I didn't even know they had the Ultimatum there. So that's dope. I'll have to check that out. And inside the Sync Producer Hub, I think it's time for some more sync placement breakdown. So I'll have to, look at these and see what tracks we're getting placed on some of these shows, so I can do some breakdowns for y'all inside the community. If you're not a member of Sync Producer Hub, check it out. Go to syncproducerhub.com for details, or you can hit the link in the description. But yeah, I throw all that stuff in there. So yeah, international that's the way to go this quarter, apparently. So Margaret says, I love to have tracks on Love is Blind or at this point any TV show. I feel you. Yep. Wayne Brady is blind too, or whatever. Is that saying Wayne Brady is blind as well? Thank you, appreciate it. Have you gotten to look at that Spawn AI MIDI instrument? I have not. I haven't gotten a chance to look at that. Appreciate it, Reyes. No, I have not. I started playing around with the what was it? That Snap. What's that thing called? The Snap plugin from Cable Guys. I got to play around with it more. I think I was like using it wrong because it was some heavy delay. Like, I don't know. Like, I got to go in there because I really didn't know what I was doing for real. I was just like clicking stuff. So I'm gonna play around with it more. Because I'm pretty sure like I was just not doing that thing right. So yeah. And then I was in Pro Tools the other night. And I haven't been in Pro Tools in a while. Pro Tools has managed to get more complicated. Like, I was just looking at the little buttons they add. I'm like, what is this? I was like, if I was to buy this now as a beginner and open it, I was already confused when I first bought Pro Tools LE7 or whatever version it was. But I was instantly confused. I didn't even know how to get a track going, like just a new track. Had no idea, didn't know what I was looking at. I figured it out eventually, but now it's just so many things in there. It's just like, yo, where do you begin if you're a newbie opening up Pro Tools? It's overwhelming. It is super overwhelming. So yeah, they got a bunch of stuff in there. I was like, what is this? I don't even need half of this stuff. So shout out to Pro Tools, making lives more complicated every day. Can't live with it, but you can't live without it. Oh, you was trying to think of the title of the Wayne Brady show. All good. Yeah, what was it? The Family Remix or something like that? So yeah, shout out to Wayne Brady. I didn't even know he had a new show out till I seen that. Yeah, the Family Remix. Wayne Brady is blind. That's hilarious. So yeah. Some cool things. Some cool things getting placed, man. So yeah, I'm excited to finish up this album. Like, my goal now in November and December, this is a time of year where like I am trying to wrap up the projects that I started with publishers and just knock it out. So I'm gonna be going heavy on things that I just kind of have open and trying to like finish those things up and get that done. And then there's some publishers, just like judging from the placements I've been getting this past year, there's some publishers I'm about to circle back and, you know, yo, let's get some more albums popping, because the ones we did, they've been working. You know, we got to double down on what works. So, yeah, I ain't touched Pro Tools 7 in years. Yeah, it's crazy. A lot simpler times. Simpler times. All right, we got G5. Let's bring G5 up for the question. Let's see if I can remember how to do this. After 2 weeks of doing this, it's like you forget how to. There we go. Figuring it out. There we go. What's up, G?
What's up, Clint? Can you hear me?
I can.
Good. Hello. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for asking. I'm good. Good.
Dope.
A couple of questions. One, have you ever had a track rejected, but later it was placed somewhere else, like successfully?
Now I'm like thinking through all these tracks. I absolutely have had tracks rejected.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure I've sent it somewhere else and then it's gotten accepted. I just can't remember specifically. And then placed, I can't pinpoint one that I know for sure, but absolutely had some rejected and then I would just pitch it somewhere else.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just curious because sometimes every music is subjective, but at the same time too, it's what the libraries need. I understand that, and some places will say no, and then other places are like, okay, yeah, cool, send it. And so it's kind of like
yeah, and it's definitely possible. I mean, it happens all the time, man. Like you'll send something to somebody and they're like, don't have the need or whatever. Send it to somebody else, perfect. So yeah, send it to a few different people. If everybody tells you no, then you start to look at yourself and it's like, okay, what about this track is not working for me?
Right.
But yeah, usually somebody will pick it up if it's a solid track.
Okay. All right. Cool. And the other thing is 2 more questions. One, regarding the plugin Snapback.
Yeah.
I had the issue because I did purchase it, and the same issue I had with the delay thing.
Yeah.
There is a setting, it's automatically set to the audio setting. So if you are running audio through it, it should work how it's supposed to. But if you're running MIDI through it, there's a way you have to go through to configure it to get it to read the MIDI to have the effect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you. So you had to change some other thing. I seen the thing where you can swap between audio and MIDI. Was that it, or was there like additional things you had to do?
There, if I'm not mistaken, there was something else to do because I had to kind of go into it. But there's an audio MIDI function, and then you click on MIDI, and there's something else you have to do, and then it'll start reading it how it's supposed to with the MIDI. Because I was doing things like in Logic, changing my latency and all this other stuff, and none of that worked at first.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna play with it because I stopped after I switched it to MIDI, and I still kind of had to delay. I kind of stopped there, and I was kind of looking around to see, okay, maybe there's something else. So I'm gonna go back in. I'm gonna play with it some more. And I did the same thing. Like I started swapping latency, buffer sizes, and all that stuff, and didn't do anything. So okay, that's good to know.
Yeah. And last thing, speaking of what gear, what was it?
Gear acquisition syndrome. Yep.
Do you have any Black Friday plugins on your list yet for this year?
No, dude. Like this year, this is what I said. I said, forget plugins. I'm going for storage. I need storage, bro. Like I was over here. My video guy got on me at Shades because he had all this video footage, and I sent it was like a last minute thing because I used my terabyte portable drive for something else that I was working on, and all I had was like this little, man, I don't even think it's 500, bro. I think it's like 256. And he was like, bro, what is this, dude? This ain't enough. Like he's like, this is 4K footage. So like I ran out of space on that. He ate that up. Then I get home to download the footage he sent, and like all of my drives are just like at capacity. My storage drive that I store videos on hit capacity. My main drive, because of Logic sessions I haven't cleaned up, that hit capacity. I was like, you know what? Forget the plugins. I'm looking for like SSDs and hard drives and stuff. That I think that's what I'm gonna stock up on this year.
All right. No extra NAS space for the NAS space.
Well, I gotta get more drives. Like the
Okay.
so right now I'm at this one I have like 2 terabytes because it's mirrored, so it's technically like 4. But I only have like 5 gigs left. But I have like 2 extra bays that I can stick a hard drive in there. So I'll probably put some more in there, and then beef that up. And then the one I just used for backup, that one's cool. I think I might have like, I don't know, like I got some terabytes left on that one, but I just store sessions on that, basically Pro Tools and Logic sessions.
Okay.
So yeah. Yep. Okay. So I'm going for storage, man. I still have plugins that I haven't even cracked open and used from last Black Friday. So I'm gonna try and defeat the gear acquisition syndrome. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Thanks for sharing. I appreciate it.
No doubt, man.
Okay.
Yeah. Doesn't help that I'm about to get some new stuff in a couple of weeks. NVMe SSDs all the way. Yeah, exactly. 12 terabyte at home and 6 TB on the laptop. Crazy. Yeah, man. Like, yeah, I need that. Just because I work with a lot of video. Like every camera I use is 4K, and yeah, and the sound. I need more space for the sound libraries because my sound drive is I clear some stuff off, so I have 34 gigs left, which that's not a ton. Like once you throw in some of these bigger sound libraries with all this cinematic stuff, that's gonna go away pretty quick. And the whole size of that is only a terabyte. So yeah, I gotta beef up my storage, man, so I can get some of this stuff off the computer onto these drives, and then I'll be going through a lot of stuff too to just clean up stuff of, I just got stuff I can just delete, to be honest with you. So yeah, man. Yep. Yo, they're getting huge, man. I seen one like at 8 terabytes, a little tiny thing. So I'm looking at a couple. I'm looking at a couple. So I'll keep you guys posted here on the channel of what I end up getting. Maybe I'll do like a YouTube video or something like that. So yeah. All right, y'all. We are about to transition and get into some live music reviews from the community. So if you're on YouTube, stick around. We're gonna start the stream up there. If you're inside the Sync Producer Hub, you'll catch me on YouTube. We all just about to be on YouTube, but the link is in the calendar inside Sync Producer Hub at syncproducerhub.com. We're gonna see if music is ready for TV and film. So shout out to everybody, man, who came through the stream. It's great to be back, chopping it up with y'all, answering some questions. If you want to learn how to produce, prepare, and pitch placement ready music for TV, then hop inside Sync Producer Hub. Go to syncproducerhub.com, get the details, join the fam, and level up, man. It's almost 2025. If you've been doing the same thing, getting the same results, it's time to do something different. All right, I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.